go big, little legs. Skinny kid with plenty.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's ZTAY, aka Lil Red. We got a different type of reaction today, but it is Victor Wembanyama. It's from the man DoubleDworth. Victor Wembanyama is already an elite NBA talent. So without further ado, let's get into it.
No man's land. No. Twice rejected by Wembanyama.
Alright, man. I'm gonna be blunt here. This is not good. And I already know what some of you are thinking. How can this not be good? Look at what he's doing. I don't mean it in that way. I mean that this is not good for the rest of us. Because not even 50 games into his rookie season, Victor Wembanyama is already doing things that a lot of people thought would take him a couple seasons to start doing. And he has already given us more than a handful of plays that we have never seen before from anybody in the history of this game. Before the season started, I made a video about Victor Wembanyama in his preseason games, and I was basically just breaking down plays and pretty much saying that if this is what he already looks like in preseason, then imagine what he could look like after a couple years of experience. Here we are, 48 games into his rookie season, and he is already showing us just a glimpse of what's to come. We'll start with the offensive side of things, because a lot of the reason why he was so hyped coming into the NBA and really a few years even before he was drafted was because of his ability to do things that you might see from a wing or a guard at his incredible height of 7'4" and incredible wingspan of 8 feet. You don't see guys above 7 feet handling the ball like this. You don't see guys at this size taking these types of shots, and yet that's exactly what he was doing. But even then, some people still had their doubts about how well his offensive talent would be able to translate to the NBA. Well, here we are, and I don't think that there are any doubts anymore. He's currently averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 47% from the field.
He's Rookie of the Year. I know there's some Thunder fans that believe Chet's Rookie of the Year, but if we're being honest, I think at the beginning of the season there was an argument for it because Wemby was, not getting a lot of minutes restrictions, not being able to stay on the floor because of foul trouble. But with both of them playing the same amount of minutes and Chet even playing more, Wemby is just far better than him. It's not even close.
32% from 3, although it is worth noting that he has been picking up his 3-point shot recently, as in his last 20 games, he is shooting 36% from 3, and in his last 10 games, he is shooting almost 42% from 3 on just under 5 attempts a game. And it has been pretty hilarious just to see him play basketball, because you can pretty much see, like, in real time how much trouble a lot of these dudes are having literally just to guard him. Because when a dude can just do this and you're already 7 feet tall and jumping at him, what the hell else are you supposed to do? I mean, the alternative, of course, would be prevent him from getting there in the first place, but that's about all teams have been able to do so far, or just hoping that he misses, which he has had his share of games this season where he's just hasn't been able to hit a shot, but they haven't really been that prevalent given how easily he can get to the rim and just the amount of lobs that he can catch because he is just taller than everyone, and just tell them to throw it somewhere where nobody else can reach it. Even earlier this season, when he had a stretch of games where he was on a minute restriction and he was really only playing about 23, 24 minutes a game, he was still putting up 21 points and 8 rebounds in that stretch. One of those games included a triple-double against the Detroit Pistons, where he had 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. This was his first of 2 triple-doubles this season so far. The second one we will get to later, but as of right now, Victor Wembanyama is currently averaging the 10th most points by any rookie in the last 30 seasons. And by the way,
10th most points by any rookie in the last 30 seasons?
A lot of those names ahead of him are current or future Hall of Famers. Allen Iverson,
let me go ahead and say, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. And that's crazy to say that already, but I already see it, bro. He's averaging 20-something his rookie season. And it's not just 20-something because, there's been rookies that have done that. It's just there's so much more he could go. There's another level he could go.
Doncic, Tim Duncan, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, just to name a few. And then you also have some very good scorers from the last few seasons, such as Donovan Mitchell and Zion Williamson. And realistically, this point total should be even higher, but unfortunately, the Spurs took 30 games to figure out that Jeremy Sohan at point guard was not the way to go.
I don't know why they took so long.
Trey Jones has been taking over
Trey
more
Jones
of the point guard responsibilities,
bro.
as he should be, and Victor has been getting a lot more lobs and quality looks overall. But offensively, this is very scary, and it only took half a season. But the real part that is terrifying about this dude being on the floor is his impact on the other end. I said this in the video that I made a couple months ago. I said that there was a very real possibility that we could have a rookie winning defensive player of the year, and while that wasn't really an unpopular take at the time, it is now pretty much impossible. But it's not really his fault. It's just that the team around him is so trash. I mean, that pretty much eliminates him from any sort of meaningful end season award.
And that's sad, because that's actually facts, because he does have a case for defense player of the year. Obviously, he's a leading candidate for rookie of the year, but the only scenario that he doesn't get it is because they'll say that his team isn't good. And he should be an all-star, in my opinion. It is hard to take out somebody from the front court from the West, but he should be an all-star, because all-star is for the views, it's for the people, and Victor is for the people.
And that award is probably going to go to Rudy Gobert. Rightfully so, because he has
Anthony
been
Davis.
Incredible for the team.
Davis will catch up.
But
Don't
just
worry.
the fact that that's
Lakers start winning games, Davis will get his defense player of the year.
Is the entire
because he is. I don't care. He's better than Gobert.
Among players with more than 1,000 minutes played so far, he is currently 10th in defended field goal percentage of attempts at the rim. Teams are shooting 53.1% against him whenever they take a shot at the rim with him as the primary defender. Just for context, that puts him around a lot of other elite rim protectors around the league, like Isaiah Hartenstein, Brook Lopez, Isaiah Stewart, Chet Holmgren, Anthony Davis, and Jared Allen. But his impact goes...
Isaiah Stewart's really that good at protecting the rim? Okay.
Beyond just his shots defended at the rim. As a team, the San Antonio Spurs are completely different with him on the floor versus off the floor. The Spurs so far this season have a 112.3 defensive rating with him on the floor, and that falls to a 120.2 with him off the floor, which, for context, their defense with him on the floor would put them around the top 5 in the league in defense. With him off the floor, they would fall all the way to 29th.
Oh
but
my
this
God,
recent stretch
that's
of games
crazy.
has been very special, as in the last 10 games, the Spurs are a 106 defensive rating with him on the floor and 119 with him off. According to Cleaning the Glass, opposing teams are scoring 10 less points per 100 possessions whenever Victor Wembanyama is on the floor, which is 98th percentile. Teams are also shooting 2.5% worse on their effective field goal percentage with him on the floor,
and that's crazy, because you could honestly argue that his offense is better than his defense. I said argue. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying you can. There's a possibility that you could argue that, because his offense is good too. But we're just talking about defense here. He's already talking about defensive player of the year his rookie season, and on top of that, he's still averaging 20 points a game and doing things on offense we never seen. And that's why he's going to be future Hall of Famer.
He is already one of the most impactful defensive players in the NBA, and he's only played half the season.
God.
But the real crazy part is when you see this defense in action, because watching teams trying to figure out how to get around this dude at the rim is one of the funniest things that I've seen so far this season. The amount of layups and floaters, shots around the rim that teams have passed up, that, by the way, they normally wouldn't pass up, but do just because he's down there, has been ridiculous to see. And that brings us to Victor Wembanyama's most recent game and most recent triple-double, in which he put up 27 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 10 blocks.
And 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
You almost had a
10
Quinn simple or
blocks.
Quinn's
This
double.
made
I
him
don't
the
even know how to
first
say that
player
word.
in over 3 years to have 10 blocks in a game, and it made him the first rookie to block 10 shots in a game since, I promise
David
you guys
Robinson.
are not ready for this answer, since Josh Smith in 2004. And
Josh
just
Smith
another
had
thing to
10
note,
blocks?
Of the 8 rookies that have had 10 or more blocks in a single game,
You don't even
none
talk.
of them hit a three-pointer. And in terms of offense, Victor's 27 points in that game is tied for the second most points for a rookie that had 10 blocks in a game. Tied with Dave.
That's a crazy stat, bro. 27 points is tied. Did you say the second most?
Tied for the second most points.
The second most points with if you had 10 blocks. Okay, so there's been one player, I'm guessing it's got to be Wilt Chamberlain, right?
For a rookie that had
Back
10
when
blocks in the
goaltending
game.
didn't
Tied
exist.
with David Robinson in 1990 and trailing only Ralph Sampson's 28-point, 13-block performance in 1993.
Ralph Sampson?
But as I said
Okay.
before, some of his defensive possessions, you literally just have to see them to actually comprehend what you're
Bro, he's
looking
gonna
at.
break so
Now,
much
the
records
Raptors
throughout his
were
career.
honestly pretty disadvantaged from the start, given that Jakob Poeltl is not a shooter, so Victor is just free to roam
That's
around
facts, yeah.
inside the three-point line.
Yep.
This is pretty much a nightmare scenario for any team trying to attack him. They start off with a pick and roll with Gary Trent and Scotty Barnes, which then breaks down to an action involving Jakob Poeltl, but as you can see, Victor Wembanyama is just free to drop
That's crazy.
and roam on defense.
And it's crazy because he could steal this, he could drop back and block this, and if he goes here and does a dribble handoff, he just slides up. He could play all these without even having to move because he's so long,
because
bro.
he knows that Jakob Poeltl is not going to be able to shoot this. So Trey Jones is able to get back, and now Jakob is just making a decision to attack Victor Wembanyama.
That's
Block
what you
one.
have to
This
do
play right
because
here,
he's
same thing,
smaller,
out of bounds.
like
They're running
skinnier.
in
But
action with RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl this time, but as you can see, Victor has no interest in guarding Jakob in this action and is instead worried about RJ Barrett, who has beaten Champagny backdoor, and he is able to easily recover. Block two. And I'd have to
Wow,
imagine
you
this
still
play
going
is
up with that,
probably
bro.
one of the most frustrating things that players face when going up against him is the fact that even when he gets out rebounded, and even if he's out of position and you beat him to the shot attempt, he can still just jump late and still get a hand on it. Block
That's
three.
tough, bro.
This play right here, same thing. They're running double drag, which Jakob slips and starts rolling to the rim. But Toronto is in such a difficult position right here because, I mean, you're not going to throw this ball up to Jakob
Yeah.
when Victor is
He's a
standing
great
right
drop
there.
defender,
He
bro.
Can literally reach outside the paint almost and get a hand on that. So that's a bounce pass into Jakob. He again beats Victor to the shot attempt.
There's a block for Wemby.
Block.
bro, one thing I've seen about Wemby so far this season, earlier on in the season, I feel like his drop defense wasn't that good. Like he was getting attacked easily, but I think he's gotten a lot better at it. If you want to see him struggle against it, go watch them versus the Hawks. But Trae Young makes any center look like they're struggling in drop coverage. But other than that, he's been pretty solid recently in drop coverage.
Poor. So this next play starts with RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes two-man game, which Victor Wembanyama is dropping off of Jakob,
He
who's
could
still
just help,
at the
yeah.
logo for some reason. And so he's able to just completely shut all of this down. And then this play pretty much just dissolves into a Jakob Poeltl post.
I love these
against
breakdowns,
Victor
bro.
Wembanyama somehow.
I literally
Block
watch
five.
these
This
all
play,
day.
Scotty Barnes has Victor Wembanyama on a switch, but as teams have figured out throughout the first half or so of the season, that's not
Why? I don't get it, bro. Why are you trying to go right at him? You see how much space he's giving you? When somebody's giving you this much space, you got to step back and shoot. And I understand he got the 8-foot wingspan. It's hard to score over him. But at this point, it's not even really a mismatch when you got him on you. And you can't attack him. So it's like, what do you
not
even
really
do?
an advantage creating situation because he is just as mobile as any wing or any
Facts,
guard
that's
in
what I
the
was just
NBA.
saying.
So he tries to break him down, and realistically, this probably should have been a pass to Emmanuel quickly for a 3, but he instead tries to take it up against Victor Wembanyama.
Tries to get physical again, just in no man's land. Nope.
Twice. Block 6 and 7. This play a little bit later in the game is just a testament to the type of shots that he's actually able to alter. Fast break opportunity.
He's not even in the play. He's just trailing.
3-on-2.
He's just trailing.
Grady Dick is out of the play.
Abaji's literally wide open. You gotta bounce past it right now.
Realistically, but as you'll
He
see,
don't.
they give it to Scotty Barnes, who then hands the ball off to O'Shea.
They waited way too long to give
Keldon
it to
Johnson
him.
is actually able to alter the shot slightly, who forces him to kind of take this weird double clutch type of layup, and that allows Victor to get back into the play.
That's
Block
crazy.
8. This next play, they try a pick and roll slip with Scotty Barnes. Bruce Brown is a pretty quality passer, so he's able to get this pass through. He gets Blake Wesley, the help
That's a
defender,
great
with
pass.
the fake, and has a wide open dunk.
Scotty Barnes going to the pocket.
See, that's tough, bro. Because
Block 9.
that's the best block I've seen so far. Because they actually ran this perfect. Like all the other ones, you could argue that the Raptors just, they probably shouldn't have tried to go up. But right here, he's literally run the slip perfectly. The pass gets through
He gets
perfectly.
Blake Wesley, the help defender,
Our weak side defender misses the swipe.
and
He got a wide open dunk.
has a
And
wide open dunk.
still blocks it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Block 9. And this play is one of the funniest that I've...
Bro, I want to hear what you have to say about this, Denver. Because I don't understand what happened on this play. Like, how is this not a travel? But let's see.
ever seen, because Grady Dick has everybody beat, but he is so terrified of what Victor Wembanyama is about to do to him that he actually forgets how to shoot a layup. For some reason, he tries to go back up with it because, I mean, when someone basically jumps at the ball like that, they're usually out of position, but this is not a regular person that we're talking about.
He literally passed to
Block 10.
himself.
And
You
those 10
cannot do
blocks
that,
brought his
bro.
total for the season up to
don't get that.
153. As of right now, he is currently averaging 3.2 blocks per game, which leads the NBA. Not leads rookies, leads the NBA. As of right now, he is currently averaging 3.2 blocks per game, which leads the NBA.
Oh my god, I actually didn't know that. He has the most blocks in the NBA. Wow. How's he not Defense Player of the Year? Denver, you know what you got to do next is Rudy Gobert, because now I want to know why Gobert is the favorite to win. And if it's just record, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. won it last year. I don't know how they did have they were the second seed. I don't care. Jaren Jackson Jr. won it last year. Maybe it is based on record. That's stupid. You guys think Defensive Player of the Year should be based on record? I don't know, bro.
Not leads rookies, leads the NBA. He is currently the only player currently averaging 3 or more blocks. The next highest being Walker Kessler at 2.8 and Brook Lopez at 2.7. This is not normal. Like this is not okay. And as I said, the Spurs are terrible. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I tried to find a different word to describe it, but no, they are trash. And keep in mind, he really hasn't even been playing that much. He's playing 28 minutes a game. He's missed a handful of games on top of that. And this is what his first year production already looks like.
Yeah.
As soon as the Spurs are able to build a competent team around this dude, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the NBA is gonna do. His one flaw that he's shown all season is his turnovers, because he has been throwing a lot of questionable passes.
He's a
but
rookie.
I feel like that's just something that's gonna improve as he gets more time in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do with this guy when that time comes.
Spurs gonna build another dynasty,
and
bro.
it's only
I'm
gonna
telling
get
you.
worse. But we will see when that time comes. If you want to hear me talk about other young players in the league, I made this video about Jonathan Kuminga a couple weeks ago, and so if you're interested, you can go and check that out right here. But with all that being said,
hey, bro. By the way, I might react to that one too. I haven't even watched the video yet. You better do Rudy Gobert now. I don't know if people are gonna watch it, so I understand as a content creator, might not want to use all that energy to do Rudy Gobert because the casual fan probably don't care. But I'm interested. Anyways, shout out Double D. Go subscribe to him if you haven't. Like the video. Literally go watch this video on his channel, bro. Just because you watched the reaction, go watch it on his. I'm going to put the link in the description. Hope you guys enjoy. Spurs fan, let your voice be heard. Wemby is coming.